I'm sorry. I'm not a very good teacher. Would you keep listening? Probably not the best introduction. But English learners introduce themselves like this all the time. I'm sorry, my English is very bad. I understand why. Maybe you're nervous. Maybe you don't understand the other person. But there's one thing I'd like you to stop saying. My English is very bad. Because you don't need to apologize for learning. It might not seem like a big deal. It's just one sentence. But let's talk about what this sentence does. I hear this from English learners all the time. You're not alone. Beginners say it. Intermediate learners say it. And yes, advanced learners say it too. And often, your English is much better than you think it is. But that's not really the problem. The problem is what you're noticing. If you finish every conversation thinking about the wrong grammar, the word you forgot, or the pronunciation you got wrong, you are keeping a very unfair scorecard. And that can change how you feel, how you communicate, and how you learn. Why do English learners do this? First, this isn't just you. Lots of language learners experience this. When you're learning a language, something strange can happen. As you learn more, you also become better at noticing what you don't know. You hear your mistakes. You notice the words you're missing. You compare yourself with people who speak more fluently. Meanwhile, you stop noticing everything you can already do. You can become more focused on being correct than on communicating. So maybe your English isn't getting worse. Maybe your scorecard is getting harder. Maybe you'll feel good about your English when you're fluent, or when your grammar is perfect, or when you know more vocabulary, or when you don't have an accent. But let me ask you something. When is your English good enough? Good enough to talk to a stranger? To share something you care about? To tell a story? To make someone laugh? To make a friend? You may already be doing these things. Here's what happens when you say, "My English is very bad." Number 1, your brain. If you say, "My English is very bad," then you will think, "My English is very bad." You start looking for proof. When you look for your mistakes, you will find them. You forget the 10 sentences that worked, and remember the one word you couldn't find. You remember the grammar mistake, but you forget that somebody understood your story. And after a while, every conversation could start to feel like another test you're going to fail. That makes it harder to feel comfortable, harder to take risks, harder to notice how much you've already improved. Of course, notice your mistakes. They're useful. But don't let your mistakes become your entire scorecard. Number 2, your conversations. What do you think happens when you start a conversation with, "My English is very bad"? You've made your English the subject of the conversation. The other person might reassure you. They might start correcting you. They might change the way they speak. Or they might stop talking to you. But you weren't there to pass a test or to speak fluently. You were there to communicate. You don't need perfect grammar to share a story. You don't need perfect pronunciation to ask someone a question. You don't need the perfect word to connect with another person. Language isn't about being perfect. Language is communication. Number 3, your learning and your confidence. If you're embarrassed about your English, you will speak less. You will take fewer chances. You will avoid conversations because you don't feel ready. But those conversations are how you get ready. Every imperfect conversation gives you experience, and experience builds comfort and fluency. You don't become fluent first and then start talking. You talk, and that's how you become more fluent. Change your scorecard. After your next conversation, change your scorecard. Ask yourself, did I communicate what I wanted to say? Did I understand the other person? Did I keep going when I got stuck? Did we laugh? Did I learn something? Did we connect? Those things count more than your mistakes. And when something goes wrong, notice the whole story. I forgot the word, but I explained it another way. I made a grammar mistake, but they understood me. That's successful communication. What can I say instead? You don't have to apologize for learning. You don't have to apologize for practicing. If you need to say something, try, I'm working on my English, or I'm improving my English. But there's another option. Say nothing. Just start the conversation. Here's my challenge for you. Do you apologize for your English? If you apologize for your English, I want you to practice saying something else. If you need to say something, say, I'm working on my English, or I'm improving my English, or say nothing. Notice your successes. Maybe you already avoid saying my English is bad. Good. But you still don't feel like your English is good enough. You still focus too much on your errors. After your next conversation in English, before you think about everything you did wrong, notice 3 things that worked. Maybe you used new vocabulary or a new idiom. Maybe you found another way to explain a word. Maybe you talked for 5 minutes. Maybe you connected with someone. Then choose one thing you'd like to improve. Keep learning. Just don't let your mistakes be the only things you notice. Your English doesn't need to be perfect for you to use it. Use the English you have today. Stop apologizing for learning. And keep building the English you'll have tomorrow. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this helped, subscribe and keep going. Have a question or suggestion? I'm always happy to hear from you. Connect with me in the comments. If you're not done yet, choose another lesson and keep going. I'm Jax. Learn, connect, live.